Hello amazing ones, this is Dani V here on YouTube and today we talk my breast augmentation surgery. If you're new on my channel, welcome, my name is Dani and I'm talking here on YouTube about my journey living with a debilitating condition called hydrocephalus, sharing with you tips and tricks on overcoming everyday obstacles and showing you that you can live a happy and fulfilling life with a debilitating condition. If you enjoy this content and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like my channel, please subscribe and this will mean a lot for me. And now, without any further ado, let's dive into today's video about my breast augmentation surgery. I need to have a disclaimer here. I am not a certified doctor. I am not a certified medical professional. I am a certified pharmacist, but I am not intending for this video to be of a substitute of a healthcare advice of any kind. This is just my story and my experience with my breast augmentation surgery. If you're thinking or are intending on doing and having a breast augmentation surgery, please do consult a board certified doctor and please do consider consulting with your neurosurgeon. With this in mind, let's dive into the content. So many of you may ask why I decided to get a breast augmentation surgery. I was living all of my life with my tuberous breasts or tubular breasts, and if you're interested in the term, you might want to Google it. Basically, because of my brain tumor, which is causing my hydrocephalus, and I have a video talking about my brain tumor and about my hydrocephalus that I will be linking in the description box below. So please make sure to watch that as well so that you can have more of an understanding of what's going on. So due to my brain tumor, which is really close to my pituitary gland in my brain, and the pituitary gland is the gland that is triggering a lot of other glands in your body to start firing hormones, if you want to say that. And it is very, very important during your puberty. However, in my case, the pituitary gland is pressed by my brain tumor, so it wasn't functioning properly during my puberty. So I was getting some problems during my puberty, one of which was the condition of tuberous breasts. Basically, my breasts were greatly different in size, one of them being greatly smaller than the other, and both of them being greatly smaller than what I have anticipated for them to be. Actually, guys, let me just show you. I am not kidding. So the condition of tuberous or tubular breasts is described as the underdevelopment of breast tissue during puberty. It is also called breast hypoplasia. So this condition is actually considered a body deformity. Great, one more thing that I know is wrong with my body. And in some countries, it is actually being treated freely by the national healthcare systems. For example, I know that in the UK, the NHS is paying for the aesthetic surgery to correct this deformity. However, I live in Bulgaria, where nothing is covered by the national healthcare system if you're not willing to pay for it. So last September, I set my mind into it. I was determined to do it. So I started researching plastic surgeons and plastic surgery centers. I set up consultations with a couple of breast surgeons, and I chose the one that actually did my surgery. He was really, really competent on what he was doing, on his art, as well as on my underlying conditions as hydrocephalus and brain tumor. Now I know that many of you might think that this is really superficial and I shouldn't be really going on for this additional surgery due to all of my other surgeries that I've had in my lifetime, and that with my underlying conditions I should even be happy to be alive. But guys, I guess you're right. I am happily married and I have been with my husband for 9 years now. So he has been perfectly happy with my breasts, tuberous or not, before and after the surgery. So I guess that it really, shouldn't matter to me, but it did. This wasn't some kind of an impulsive, reckless decision that I did overnight. I was 30 when I went through my surgery, and it was really well thought of and it was really well planned for. I was also signed up for an MRI because they wanted to see what was going on in my brain, and it turned out to be completely normal, apart from my actual brain tumor and my VP shunt, which is overcompensating and is causing my slit ventricle syndrome. After my MRI, I was also set up for a thoracic scan because the doctors needed to see how my VP shunt is situated so that they can, not affect it during the surgery. And oh my god, after this consultation I had to pick implant size, implant shape, which was so overwhelming because guys, there's so many different implant shapes and sizes and manufacturers and everything. I went with the Motiva implants, and they're really good implants, I know. So I went with them. They come with this identity card to be carrying this all the time. It has the serial number of your implants, and it does have also the ID of your plastic surgeon and of the implants, so that you can be sure that they're 100% authentic and that they come with, you know, this lifetime warranty. I chose round implants, and the technique of my surgery was that they are implanted under the pectoral muscle, and my incision sites are under my armpits. This is also greatly due to my underlying conditions, because my VP shunt, the incision sites are under my armpits, because this is as far as possible from the VP shunt tubing, which means that possible infection site is really as far as possible from it. And also the implants are going under the muscle, because my tubing is going over the muscle, is going under my skin. So the implants will not be in any way touching or affecting the actual tubing. This was decided by my plastic surgeon, and I 100% support and trust him and respect his decision, because this greatly corresponds to what I was thinking as well. The day of my surgery, I had to shower with an antibacterial soap, and then I had to go to the hospital really early in the morning before the surgery. I was set up an IV, and I was sent to the operating room where I was put to sleep, and then I woke up a couple of hours later, and I was already having boobs, guys. It was like just amazing, because it was already obvious, it was already apparent there and then in the hospital, because like when I looked down and I was like, oh my gosh, I do have boobs now, which was just amazing because I haven't had them all my life. So when I woke up, I was feeling really rough, and the doctors decided to retain me in hospital for the next 3 days for aftercare and for medical monitoring, of which I am greatly thankful, guys, because this experience, oh my god, it is not that insignificant as so many people might think. This is actual major surgery. Like, you are unconscious most of the time, and then when you wake up, like, I was feeling really sick. I couldn't stop vomiting, and I was in so much pain. Like, I'm not even trying to scare you off or anything like that, but this is not a joke, guys. And I was in excruciating pain for the first couple of hours. I did have drainages that went into my incision sites under my armpits, and I had them for 48 hours before they were removed, and they were draining the excess of blood and extracellular fluid that was building up on my operating sites. So I stayed in the hospital for 3 days. I was drugged out for the good part of the first 24 hours, of which I'm greatly thankful to the nurses in the hospital. Thank you if you're watching this, because otherwise I don't know how I would have coped. So after that, I got my drains removed and I was released to go home. I was able to go back to work relatively shortly after my surgery, and also I was lucky enough, because I was in a job transition at that point, to be transitioning to working from home. So I was working from home most of the part afterwards. My surgery was done on the 12th of November. Now it's the 6th of May, 6 months now, and I'm really happy with the result. So right after the surgery, my breasts were really swollen, and they were tender, and they were painful, and they were really up here, like they were really high up, and they started dropping after about 3 weeks, I might say. So for the first 3 weeks, they were really up here. And for those of you who are considering breast augmentation surgery, there are two terms that you want to remember, and that's drop and fluff. This is when your breasts finally drop, in your breast pockets, where they're going to be staying hopefully forever, and they become fluffy and soft, because first of all, they're really, tight and tender and hard. It started happening with me about 3 weeks after the surgery. I have started running in the end of February, so about 3 months, 3 months after my surgery, and I have not had any issues so far. But anyway, guys, after your breast augmentation surgery, if anything feels funny or uncomfortable, just don't do it. Just stop. just stop and let your body relax, because it needs this. It needs you know, some time to recover, so you have plenty of time to enjoy them. Really, I was so very impatient. I am really happy with the results nowadays. I really do think that this was the right thing to do for me and for myself at the point of time, and you know, I am not regretting this even one bit. Even all the pain and all, you know, the drains and everything is 100% worth it. With regards to scarring, there is some scarring to it. I will be showing you my scars on my incision sites right now. Right, so here's one of my scars, and then here's the other. So as you can see, my scars are not, you know, that dramatic or that big or anything like that. I am really happy with how they turned out, and they're getting better and better with every single day. They were quite different at the very beginning. They were quite bigger, and you know, I was, you know, really worrying whether or not they will be healing properly, but they are, thank God. I have been applying this product, which is called Coat, and it is basically silica gel, which is covering the scar tissue and is helping protect it and feeds it so that it can actually repair itself and smooth out. So it is really economical. It is 6 grams, and there are also 15-gram tubes, but I have been using this forever. Like, I have been using this for 4 months and it still has not gone through. So I am really happy with this product, and probably I'll be using it till the end of my recovery. 1 year into my recovery, I will be having a scar revision to see if I'm happy about my scars and stuff. I am really happy about them now, and I really do think that in 6 months from now they'll be even better. Right, so the implant in my left breast is 265 cc's and the implant in my right breast is 285 cc's, and the difference in size is due to the fact that there was a dramatic, you know, size difference in my native quote-unquote breasts. So basically, with this volume difference, my breast augmentation surgeon hoped to make up for the difference in volume and in size, and it did, and I'm really happy about it. And now, you know, they're relatively equal in size and shape. Also, my right breast is implanted slightly to the right and slightly to the side, and this is due to the fact that my VP shunt is going past my chest. So basically, in order for it not to affect it in any way, it is just like 1 centimeter to the side, which is barely visible. Like, I can see it, but it's just because I know that it's there, and I know that it's not otherwise visible at all. So I'm really happy with it as well. This is something that I really don't mind, because it really looks natural and it's fine. About costing, having in mind that I am in Bulgaria, this is what I paid here in Bulgaria. It's altogether cost me $6,000. So this was the price for, you know, the implants and the hospital stay and the actual surgery. This is with regards to my breast augmentation journey. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you find it useful, and I'll see you guys next time.